about the two-tier justice system, but the two-tier benefits system that is available here to newly arrivals is becoming more and more apparent. And the disparity between the two, like driving around normally here, particularly in Dublin, any new to the parish is not driving anything less than a 15 or 16. They're gaining incredible financial assistance and financial benefit. Uh, a whole middle class of Indians are being imported at large via the tech bros importing, but could primarily be done remotely and at home as well. But they are then buying up the housing stock, and that's going on exponentially. But the two-tier benefit system is also playing out, and more Irish people are becoming very vocal and seeing that disparity, as I said, and the blatant discrimination against the Indigenous Irish, against the Irish themselves. People are gaining more traction. People are gaining their vocal cords and are speaking out because none of it makes sense and none of it is in the benefit to the Irish people. To what benefit does it succeed? Let me bring you over to this lady here.
Actually forgot this.
Oh, hold on there now, and I'll swap you over here. Hopefully the mic is sounding good. I got rid of the annoying automatic fade that was kicking in. Sorry, let me just jazz it up, make sure I'm still all good in the books. I don't know where I was going for, but have a listen to this lady here as well, as I was mentioning there in the subject. Stop that yourself. And have a listen to these words from this lady here.
Absolutely correct. But
I'll read the what she's replying to as well is a posit about what the benefits these new to the parish are beginning to get and avail themselves. Absolutely correct. But the Indians buying houses in our country are getting 30,000 grant. There's also an 8,000 relocation grant, and they say they want to set up another business. And listen to the figures on that.
the Indians buying houses in our country are getting a 30,000 euro grant. There is also an 8,000 relocation grant. I didn't know about that. Jesus. And if they say they want to set up a business account, I didn't know this either, there is a 60,000 euro grant. Does that make your blood boil any bit at all? Can you not see it's a genocide of the Irish people? But if you're an Irish person on the housing list with years, or trying to rent an apartment or a house or a flat, you just have no hope. There's over 17,000 Irish people homeless. But if you come over here on a dinghy, plane, or a yacht and want to take up asylum, even though you've probably been in a safe country beforehand, you're put into a hotel with 4 or 5 course meal, phone, clothing, everything you want, anything you want, and a month or 2 down the road, you have a home or a house. Probably paid for by the Irish taxpayer.
So as I say, more and more of a certain age group are becoming and are more enlightened and are speaking out. As I've said in my conversations with people, just when I travel around or the other shops, or people are becoming more familiar that I wouldn't be overtly a friend with or a friend to. Sheepdog, just threw you there, a spanner there. You're moderating the chat there tonight. Sheepdog, you have full control over there. Wave that wand masterfully. But yeah, as I say, people are beginning to more aware, and the disparity as well. Grants for coming over here, it's like it's money is just being thrown at them hand over fist. As I said to you, the benefits and the schemes being set up for them as well, new cars, everything. So not only are the taxpayer being defrauded and descaled, but again, it's quite transparent on the roads. Don't mention any aptitude towards driving or capability of driving as well. I mentioned I think it was probably a TikTok broadcast there as well about the retardation of Ireland in the driving standards and the amount of accidents as well. Malachy, I'm going to go through some of the live feed as well. I'll go through that with you there now in a second. Just as a current, what's trending on Twitter now, but there's 1 or 2 posts that are coming back, particularly what's happened just this weekend gone. Footage has emerged of an incident is believed to have taken place during a confirmation ceremony. Lots of kids, young confirmation, 12-year-olds, young teenagers just about to burst forward, doing their confirmation ceremony at St. Mary's Church in Navan, County Meath on Saturday. Boyne News received the following statement, but no mainstream has touched any of this, and I think it's important that we share this video as well for our viewers further afield. And now the nonsense actors are beginning to play it, but at this ceremony where proud parents and people of faith are coming together to celebrate the confirmation of their children, this nonsense is beginning to take place now.
Can I speak? I'm gonna take I have a bomb strapped to me. Take all these kids out of this place right now. Take.
Dragged off. I mean, you wouldn't want to cause a scene, but she came in, and I don't know if you heard it there. She said she had a bomb strapped to her chest. Obviously, just come in, someone clearly unwell, but to besmirch the proud families there that day doing that, like, shit like that's going to become way out of control and more. But like I say, just to show our friends further afield, these kind of incidents that have played throughout Europe, as we've seen the mass migration with the Merkelism taking effect throughout Europe. The Merkelism, as I've called it now, I've seen more broadcasts and also bringing it back to the 2014, 2015, when Angela Merkel said, "Oh, let them come. We as Europeans, we can do this," as if it was a crowd pride. Never before in human history or even in etymology, or in the jungle, has a prey invited its predator to come in and live amongst itself, and said that it would be a strength and that we could manage it, we could all live cohesively together. Did not happen at all. Maliki popping up that few other different broadcasts talking about that disruption in the service. But she obviously wanted to just create a scene and get some broadcast for herself like that. Obviously didn't have anything strapped to it. But understand, men, fathers, you have to take control of that situation. They're looking for these little clickbaity broadcasts that they can show out to the rest of the world in a strategy to put down the indigenous populations or the home populations. And it encourages other viewers further afield to carry out same sort of things. And it's that fucking phenomena on the YouTube of influencer. They go around making themselves an absolute nonsense. But that's only the beginning of it. It will become more nefarious. Also, about a month ago, I don't have anything to report on it, but 2 churches set on fire on the same day in 2 different locations. Once is happenstance, maybe misfortune, but 2 directly lends one to be suspicious, and think therein that could be a correlation between 2 separate events. I just Jonathan Wong there. I wanted to give him a shout out here as well. You might not see him, but very outspoken sort of personality as well. I think it's well worth your attention. Samuel Melia, who I believe was with Off Grid Ireland on their Telegram channel, which reminds me, I'm going to start that now. It was on their Off Grid channel. Samuel Melia there, pictured on the left, came out with a book. He was in prison for 2 years or 2.5 years for criticising paedophilia, but the disparity in the 2-tier justice system over in the UK is just as, we can get a few examples of that over here too. Who was sentenced to 2 years in jail over "it's okay to be white" stickers. Hope Not Hate smeared him. Myself also had an article written by them, Hope Not Hate, many moons ago. Liron Velleman received a suspended sentence over grooming a 13-year-old. He was a writer for Hate Not Hope, but Hope Not Hate is the actual name. It's a bigger crime for you to exist than paedophilia. But I just wanted to bring in, and again, always touch base with, I'm forever promoting their stuff, the Irish Inquiry, Stephen Kerr and Suzanne Delaney, proper journalism at the moment as well. And we'll touch in on Gript as well. Most of you are now beginning to realise about the gatekeeping that Gript is, or a play on words, the actual grift that is. The Zionists in charge, Big John, have been calling him out for years as well. You can see the gatekeeping of what's going on in the war. And the follow-on journalists after that as well, who have links and ties to the Iona Institute, which I'll remind you as well, and also have their portion of diversity included as well. So not representing nationalist voice in any shape whatsoever. But I've spoken to you many times about the doctors that are being struck off, or the doctors that are presenting in related to sexually related complaints. Up to 82% of those up for adjudication are foreign-born nationals. We recently had a doctor rape a nurse on staff, and the whole episode took a year to resolve while he was still free to walk on the same ward as his victim for a whole year. The intimidation that they must have felt during that time before he was removed. I don't even know if he was struck off, but he was removed from the hospital. Clearly not enough. Needs to be removed from the country. More on that will follow. But non-national doctors, this is what is missing from the headline. The headline, I'll pop it up there. 3 doctors struck off for inappropriate behaviour of sex offences. This is March 22, 2026. Medics as well also included in that, whose background checks seems on prior to this investigation, which hadn't been done, shows that they had sexual offences, crimes against them on their record as well, which were never picked up on the vetting, if they were vetted at all or even in the slightest. But Suzanne says, non-national doctors, this is what is missing from the headline. Medics were among 6 people investigated over a 5-year period, and all of them were not Irish. It is not clear if the sexually related complaints against the other 3 doctors were upheld. This is not made clear in the article, and as such, the reader may incorrectly assume they were innocent when, rather, they may just not have been struck off. Furthermore, the Medical Council, funded by doctors, does not inform the public in over 50% of cases where a doctor has engaged in inappropriate behaviour ranging from sexual harassment to sexual assault and rape due to the doctor's right of privacy. The doctor has not been informed of a complaint. The doctor does not even get informed of a complaint against them for months or for over a year in some cases, which I recently just spoke on. The victims are not informed if a court order has been sought to prevent the doctor from practicing, and these orders are not always sought, even when an allegation is as serious and contemporaneous evidence is provided. Victims are unable to speak publicly until a process is complete, no matter how long it takes. Some doctors who have sanctions placed upon them are still allowed to practice. Not every doctor who has been found to be sexually inappropriate or has proven to be a sexual predator gets struck off. And as you can see, even when they have been struck off, they are usually not named and can just go and practice elsewhere in another jurisdiction. For example, go from Dublin to Belfast. It is that simple for them in many cases. The Medical Council states in this article today that they take many complaints very seriously. I think if they did, however, it would take months. It wouldn't take months or longer to even advance a complaint beyond the preliminary stage, after which the doctor is notified, not before. They say they can suspend any doctor for public safety, so why do they not do so in many cases? No one knows who the hell is coming in here, whether their qualifications are real, whether they are sexual predators. That is the cold, harsh truth. And if you query it, you're the problem. Remember, just last week, a Moroccan doctor was convicted of raping a colleague here in Ireland. He was not suspended from Limerick University Hospital for 12 months after they became aware of the allegations, which I just spoke on. I didn't read the prior post or the extended version of this. I didn't know she would be speaking on it. The young nurse who was the victim had to transfer. Some will say that he was entitled to be treated as innocent until proven guilty, but in these cases, where there is an adult in a very high position of trust who looks after vulnerable people, risks should never be taken. The UK is as bad. Just recently, the General Medical Council allowed a foreign doctor to continue to practice after what was described as a one-off rape. Meanwhile, the Medical Council seems to just place a higher priority on going after doctors for not pushing you-know-what on everyone, and I would love to know how quickly they work to remove the 3 doctors in this article. Advice to readers, please always insist on a chaperone during medical examination. Very, very thoughtful and a worthwhile suggestion there at the end. I'll just say to you there again, Suzanne advising to readers, always insist on a chaperone during medical examinations. I think another female attendant in the room there as well, obviously. But you can see now everything's spilling out, everything getting worse and worse. Let me jump over to a little bit of housekeeping here as well. If you've already signed up to the Gran Torino on the Telegram, if you haven't, there's the only thing that's in the description box down below is the link to the channel. I am turning the live stream on here now as we speak. And if you want to be a participant, or if you want to see if you can jump in and we can have a little chinity wag, we can definitely do that there now. I have it on there now. Mike is muted, but we'll see if anybody's in there. If you want to jump in later on, we'll test it out. It's on the browser. I haven't installed it. Let's see how that goes. One to work on. Next up, My Kind of Vicar. I think I wanted to bring that up. Where is My Kind of Vicar?
Well, folks, John McLaughlin.
Hold on there, John. We'll get to you. My Kind of Vicar as well. We'll have to touch on all the subjects. We're always going to speak about excess debts. We're always going to speak about migration. We're always going to speak about the two-tier justice system. We're always going to speak about the two-tier housing and health and social and welfare system in all its aspects. We won't be afraid to speak in them as well. Like gatekeepers will just focus and keep the function primarily migration, just to drive that angle. But there are other things and other agendas at foot, and we must not take our eye off the ball. In excess debts are rising. People need to be held to account. There is a court case going through in Amsterdam in Holland at the moment. Some of you might be aware of it. I did have a video broadcast from it. It was a little bit long, but I would just wait for the case to progress. A representative from the Gates Foundation for Bill Gates is there. He is being held criminally liable, along with Burles from the head of operations at Pfizer. The main characters that we all know and understand who they are. No point in really overly reporting of it, because again, if they are the people that are in charge of prosecuting, who will prosecute the prosecutors? Hopefully, the good people in Holland will hold them to account and keep the standards. I don't hold much course, because I've also seen abroad in, not quite sure of the location, but a Supreme Court justice who had made a ruling, I think it might have been Spain, has been debanked and deplatformed. I like a sitting Supreme Court judge, because they're casting their vote abroad. Maybe chat might jump in there with that. But has been debanked, amongst other things, deplatformed, and is having their life pretty much put on question. Let's have a listen to the good vicar, Calvin Robinson. I like Calvin. He's a younger version of the Bishop, Cardinal Sarah, who I'm a great admirer. Obviously, Cardinal Viano, and Williamson. All the great bishops are out there. Let's have a listen to Father Calvin Robinson, Presbyterian, I believe, but still going in the right direction.
Yeah, I mentioned the problem with Judaism. They're like, yeah, but the Mohammedans are raping your daughters. Like, these are both issues. They both need addressing. Islam has taken over. Yes, it's the broom of the Jews, and they have opened the gates, and it's the reason we have barbarians everywhere. But the barbarians...
Just for clarification, he's saying it, not me. I'm just reporting and listen to what he's saying. But we kind of agree. We do agree. We all agree. Do we agree? We agree.
Barbarians need dealing with.
Yes.
And we're not dealing with them. They are literally raping our daughters. So let's get them out, and let's close the doors, and let's kick out the people who are opening the doors too.
Yes, very well said.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, actually. But again, I want to keep highlighting the speakers and the situation that's happened in the UK as well, to our neighbours as well, because whatever happens there is invariably going to affect us. Hence, what's happening between Belfast and Dublin with the Enterprise railway station, where up to 80% of the new applicants are coming from the north, no borders. So they're making their way from the UK, off shipping there, if they've been picked up by the Rwanda agreement. We'll have name a inhospitable island that we could use off the coast of Ireland and set up camp there as for an internment camp when we do begin the national rollout program. And I mean rollout of the fucking country. Off you go, off ski, life raft, road, whatever you have in yourself. We'll see how that goes. But again, what I wanted to talk about, and what I'm reminding you as well about, the fuel shortages and the energy shortages that are coming into chaos. I mean, if there's going to be no boats, we may give them sticks to paddle. Any clues there? Spike, is it, my Leslie? Was that Spike Island? Appreciate that, my Leslie. Yeah, Spike Island. We'll set it up again. Hear me now. We'll set it up again. Yeah, Father Calvin Robinson, if you think. And I've seen his arc. I've seen his journey, coming from love is love and we're all here, and to start questioning, to now turning and going, it's the juice, and everything else, they're all involved. What did he say? The juice? Yeah, I did. I said the juice. You know what I mean? We'll go through that. I'll refresh that now in a second. I'll bring you onto this chart as well. Excuse me. Because we spoke last Monday about the Danish, but I just missed it, and I didn't get a chance to. Bring it to your attention. And I did speak about the prison population of Ireland being an indicator for the encroachment of the migration, because it does keep a nationality test. But this is a sentence to prison. This is Fianna Fact as well. I want to give them a shout out as well, as along with NWL. I'll get their link. I think they'll probably be here as well. But this is at Fianna Fact, FIANNA FACT. do give them a follow, because you'll get a cohort of all the saucy information that we're looking for. But this is link. Fianna Fox says, if there is no link between the latest wave of immigration and sex crime, then why has the number of people held in prison for sex offences almost doubled since 2021? You can see that there off the chart. When the doors were open, when the war created and let them come in, people would say, you increase the population, you're going to increase the statistics. But if we get a more minutiae look at the statistics, and we can see of those who are overly represented in the sexual crime offences per capita, we could break it down that way. We can go there. There's also been talk from further afield on my favourite subject, IQ tests. IQ tests were recently carried out abroad, but I'm not going to go there. It's a little bit facetious, but we all know that the definition of retard and the standard and the protocol for retard was set lower, for specific reasons, so as not to cause offence to certain people. That's all I'm saying. But the overrepresentation in the population, prison populations, another clear indicator of the failing system. Does it really matter? Because what I mean by that is, with the impending energy crisis, and I'm not saying that's going to be because of what we're being told, what is happening further afield. I'm being told, and what I'm reacting to is what's happening at the pump. The pump prices go up. Now, the pump prices did go up during the COVID, and any time there is an event of some situation, will be reflected on the pump prices. But we obviously know that there's more serious implications behind the current one. But again, it's another method of control. It's another way of throwing out the fear factor. It's obviously another way of getting you to, as what we should have been doing and what we have been doing for the 6, 7, 8, 12 years been in this broadcasting, since we've been even mentioning the mere word of communitarianism and the strategy that they were employing, as we've seen it now morphing into the full-fledged the political class baring their teeth, no longer afraid to show who and what they are, because of the absolute apathy and reaction to the Epstein files. But that dog don't hunt. That dog ain't finished. Still more on that to follow. Record again as well. Again, this another interesting fact, but this is brought up. Taj, rape is up 137% in 10 years. I'll just give you a quick look at this chart as well, because this is the number of sexual offences recorded by An Garda Síochána Khan that might not necessarily be mentioned in the CSO figures. But there has been an average increase, and again, all points up there. I'm not even going to pop that one up there. We'll leave that alone. We'll put that on the home, Kate. And who else do they want to do? Of course, yeah. Among the many other topics that we should be talking about, and I've kept on our mind there. Nobody popping in to Telegram, not even for a tester. I'm in there by me lonesome. But if you want to have a say or come in and say hello or just to test the system, Sheepdog, you've been given a spanner. Open up your Telegram app, jump to the Gran Torino and press the button. Let me see if it even turns up in here on the stream, that I might be able to use it for future episodes. In the UK, the House of Lords has just legalised abortion up to birth. So the agenda rolls on dutifully, as I say. Women can now end the life of their unborn baby at any stage for any reason without legal consequences. Remember, it's female empowerment. It's for healthcare reasons. A truly dark day for Britain. So have a listen to this. Don't know what I did there.
My lords, there have voted. 148, not contents 185, so the not contents have it.
I don't know what that means, but they obviously pushed it through. I know, apologies for the sound on that one there. I was trying to turn it up, but it's up full tilt. Absolute evil. Absolute evil. I have no truck or anything like that. I am purely from the moment of conception, it's a viable life. Conception is when you can see the breath of life from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, breathing it into him. We've all seen that video montage, incredible stuff. But again, all this kind of nonsense marching on. I'll jump straight over to this as well, and I'll jump the infographics. Again, employment law, Ireland, many great accounts over here, keeping stats and statistics for us and keeping us abreast of figures, and about the financial implications of what's happening. I think they're overspending. Yeah, obviously organ harvesting and adrenochrome as well. It's disgusting, isn't it? I mean, when I'm seeing the, I'm not even going to go there. Stick on the subject. Stay on point. Cash welfare spending has gone from 8 billion to 832 billion. We are now handing out 2.7 billion a month, 617 million a week, or 88 million every single day It is completely out of control, and ordinary workers are the ones carrying it. None of this is sustainable long term. Let me just blow that infograph up there for a bit. Pause to read if you want. But the headline article, or the headline piece that he says, within the last 5 years, from 2019, we've gone from an annual social welfare or welfare bill of 24.061. Can you imagine it? Population of just over 5.6, as we're told. Closer to 10, I would say. But of the indigenous, in and around 5.6. From 24.06 billion to 32, and an increase in the last 5 years of 8.029 billion in welfare payments and divvy outs, the money where it's gone and how it's being spent. What this measures, this cash social benefit paid, this is the graph over to your immediate left, bottom left. The cash social benefits paid directly to individuals and households includes pensions, child benefit, job seeker, disability cares, illness and other income supports. It does not include healthcare services, education spending, infrastructure spending, housing, construction or public sector pay. Glad we clarified that, because I jumped off right at the very start and said it was nothing. But that's for the pensions, child benefit, job seeker. So all of those charts have raised within the last 4 or 5 years. Annual cash welfare spending in Ireland in billions. At 2000, a mere 25 years ago, it was 7.997 billion. But from 2019, we've jumped from 24 all the way up now to finishing at 32. And it is still increasing, but more increase the population, increase the problems, as they say. Absolute madness. But again, you can see the statistical change. So we can track it. If they won't, even though they won't, the former Justice Minister and the current Justice Minister have said that they will not release or publish the statistics on crime that they do record and do keep, but will not release to the public. I say it's not in the common good, I think was another reference made on that bullshit. Again, all of this, transparency will be the number one primacy on any nationalist government, should be on their cards, to not only reforming the system and hiling, but making transparent, apparent. Put it on the blockchain, make it public for everybody to see where the public money is being spent item by item. But if the globalists have their way, AI is going to rule it all. AI gods. But we're not going to allow it, are we? Are we, folks? We're not going to allow it, are we? Come on, which is there. Adrenochrome, yeah, 100%. At Billy Bogus also in the house, looking for like a rerun of the 2008 financial crash is back in the cards. I agree with you, but with a slight twist and a caveat. I must add to you as well, and I've mentioned this to you before, folks, boys and girls. You know what I'm about to say, those of you that have been tuning in. But this will not be a bailout. The similarities are probably the time coverage, because what could have been averted in 2008 by not getting sound on Telegram GT, but that could be just for me, all I know. Oh, I see you there, Sheepdog. It's probably just a call there. I've tried to open your mic. Let me open my mic. I'm broadcasting there now, Sheepdog. Can you hear me broadcasting on Telegram? Sorry, folks. Let me just do a quick sound check here with Sheepdog. Are you hearing me? You can reply back on the... I didn't open my mic when I was speaking. I'm just waiting for the chat here. And I can't seem to open your mic, but you can tell me yourself there. Just bear with there for 1 second there, ladies and gentlemen. I do. Sheepdog, come back to me. Far by far, brother. Can't hear you in there as well. There's only one. There's only one there, Nick. No, Grant. We'll leave that be. I've switched it off there. We'll work on that later again. Appreciate that. Just a little bit of live testing. Technical testing. Bear with me. Check, chamon. Check, chamon. All sorts of nonsense. Yeah, so we can see the increase in spending. I think primarily I was thinking they're increasing the population because they have to offset for the eventual departure of the major corporations that are here that supplement that spending, that largesse spending. Like I said, that just includes on pensions, child benefit, job seeker, disability cares allowance, other illnesses is 24. It's jumped to 32. I was saying that I think I said it last week, that our bill, I was in and around the zone 22 to 24 for welfare spending, and another 24 or to 26 to 28 on healthcare as well. That will have all increased drastically as well. Where is that coming? Because of the population and the increase in not birth certificate but registered PPS numbers, they are able to go to the markets to keep this Ponzi scheme going. So if the greedy landlords keep buying in and taking in 22 per household and keep getting that cash flow going, that increases because all those people have an availability and access to the welfare system, to the system that we've all contributed over the years and generations previously have built out from nothing to now being handed over. And I think it's outside money as well, not just on the NGO stuff, but outside during the markets as well, paying for this. And I also think that the large push on fighting age men primarily is because this is a staging point. I think the wheels are going to come off at the end of the month. I mean, it could have come off at the end of the day. Trump gave out a 48 notice to Iran that if they didn't let them know that they'd lost, that as he's told us 2 or 3 times now, that they've, and I'm not putting America down here, and to my American audience there as well, Nick or Karen from New Jersey and the rest of you, Star Girl. Obviously, we're only talking about the administration and how that's being run or not being run cohesively, because all the election promises have gone to waste. And we just have to let it kind of play out in its own. But if we go to this war, or if this disruption to the supply chain in global energy systems isn't curtailed lickety spit or lickety sharp, it's going to be even 10 times worse than 2008, as I said. And just to finish off the point, I remind myself, the 2008 was a bailout. The general tax, the exchequer covered the losses of the banks that had over leveraged, and all those senior and junior bondholders were paid, were given a cash back, which is, you could go to any gambling house in any country in the world, or you go to any bookkeepers or bookies, go in and place a bet, and then your fucking horse loses, and you go back into the bookies going, can I have me lay down price back again as when my horse didn't come in? Can I have that price back? What do you think the fucking bookies should say? What do you think the bookies or the government should have sent to those bondholders previously? It's just, it is an absolute embarrassment. Sorry, Karen, I'm not on that subject that you're just saying there in your subject. Yeah, it is. But again, it's down to the people to put it right. And then again, it's the same here. And I will say to you, to our American audience, as I'll say here to ourselves, the main source and blame for all of this is within ourselves, is for us, for all of us, is to take responsibility first and foremost. Is for our own failings of understandings and comprehension. We were misled, we were misguided, we were lied, we were tricked. The whole global world has seen that. But here we are now with the younger generation shouting and screaming because they can see that any sort of cash flow or any future has just been stolen away from them, because we're heading into years of drudgery. And I don't say that lightly. I'll bring that back as well to another point in saying that the broadcast may even come to an effect, because there's going to come energy shortage. There's going to be rolling blackouts. There's going to be energy shortages by design, whether it's fake or true. It's going to put us all under pressure. It's going to put us all under stress, which is what the intention is, to have you in a fear state so that you'll be more supplicable to their solution, which you'll be more susceptible to their solution, which will be ID cards, which will be stamping the beast or whatever, or CBDCs when the cash flow runs out and power goes out and you can't get money out of the bank, you can't get it out of the ATM, that's all gone. And digitally, we can't transfer money. I'd say that first initial period, when that does come, will be a shock system, and it'll be for 2 weeks. Could be for a week, could be for 2 weeks, could mean longer. But Karen says, right, prepare, have all your bases covered, have a cash float, have a spending float, have tangible assets that you can trade with or barter. I think all of that system's going to come into play. I have just procured over 40 litres of fuel for myself, of diesel, before it goes into the steady heights. I am envisaging €3 a litre. I am seeing us creep past $3.50. I am seeing other governments now suggesting that the work rate, the work week, will be reduced from 5 days to 4 days with a day off. Some people in the Asian countries are doing that because they're trying to curtail fuel usage, because they're not going to get stocked up. And primarily why it's hitting the Asian countries so drastically and so hard is because of their proximity to Iran, or to the source of the fuel. They didn't have to invest or capital invest in storage facilities or in storage tanks, because they were on a just-in-time delivery system and they were so close by to the straits. All their energy needs were met pretty lickety-spit. So they'd be putting an order in for a week or two in advance when they knew they were coming out, because the boat would be here. Where over here, when the fuel needs to leave the Straits of Hormuz and come into the European zone, it takes up to 15 days. So understand that since the Straits has been announced to be closed to certain shipping, it's still open to China, it's still open to Russia, it's still open to India. They're all still getting their fuel needs met, along with a few others. But you be damn sure that the European Union is not getting there. So whatever we are sitting on now, or whatever we are using now, is what has always been in transit. And like I said to you, that slow engine of the super tanker or having to change course takes a day or two to shift, and we are not going to feel that ramification of those energy shortages, but they will become more and more apparent. Hence the government talking over here in the Republic about reducing the excise on duty for fuel by 20 cents or 25 cents. Not going to be enough. It's going to hurdle price, going to hurdle up towards 150, 170, and it keeps going up and down with each proclamation from the President of the United States. His mere words has the power to increase it or decrease it. And just as a glimmer to an aside as well, that might be a resolution to this situation. Now, I do understand that the UAE have come out and said that they have finished it timely, one might say, and it is available now, a cross-border or a cross-country pipeline that they've just recently constructed and finished. That would mean that whatever's coming out of Iran or out through the Straits that couldn't be blocked from Iran will go straight through the UAE pipeline and start a shipping process from there. I think that was always in the cards, because we understand the situation with the Panama Canal, that the Israelis are building their own canal. I think it's the Ben Gurion or whatever, one of them names. It's due for completion as well. So they want to bypass the Panama Canal and all that's effects, because it's Egypt that controls them and runs that as they steer towards, in their direction, towards the greater Israel. Let's bring it back home a little bit of good news, or a little bit of something different. During the week, Ryan Casey popped over to visit the United States as well. We all know him as well as being the partner of Ashleen Murphy. Am I right? Murphy, I don't want to get it wrong. Who was gratuitously murdered 2 or 3 years ago, and has left an indelible blot on the psyche of the Irish people as well. Such a beautiful, young and charismatic, but their whole lives ahead of them, to be so brutally stolen away in such dramatic circumstances for the whole world to view. And then her partner, who having Hamir mentioned and articulated what the rest of us felt and made mention of that, is being harangued and pursued by the state and every lefty drongo, low-class retard attacking him. But he just posited out there. He got his first visit to Washington, D.C., I don't know much about the man's politics. I don't know the man personally or anything like that. I'm not saying I jump in behind him wholeheartedly, but when the left is attacking somebody like that and doing it with such vitriol, I'm supporting that man. I'm supporting that woman, wherever you may be. First visit to Washington, D.C. was an incredible, productive experience. I had the opportunity to engage with many high-ranking U.S. officials on Capitol Hill and at the U.S. State Department who have a genuine interest and concerns about the direction our country is heading in. Could be something future for Ryan. Carl Nolan was over there as well. Ken O'Flynn from the Independents. And I don't know who the other one is as well. But Ryan travelling along and getting to give the Irish voice some representation in the most powerful institute in the world, I should say. The United States Congress as well. Just to show you a few of the photographs there. Looking very proud and jolly with himself. I was given the opportunity to engage to discuss areas of concern that I feel passionate about, and where I feel, not just on a personal level but also at a national level, we as a country have been utterly failed in the past and are continuing to be utterly failed. I also took the opportunity to promote Ireland, to promote our culture, and to promote our strong communal values that shape our national identity. You go, Ryan! You got me so far. I'm with you, bud. I strongly highlighted the importance that the next 5 to 10 years will be in maintaining and preserving Ireland's historical, homogenous society, which is a defining part of who we are, and how critical it is that we protect and honour it for future generations to come. I'm giving him the vote. Ryan, you're in. Just call a fatwa over here. Just call the crusade here in Ireland. I'm at your side. I'm ready to go. There's plenty of other swinging swords out there ready to go too. Do it, Ryan. Do it. Do it. Do it now. I strongly highlighted the importance, or I did that. The trip truly highlighted the importance of having a close relationship between our two countries, a relationship that is built on mutual respect, shared history, shared values, and a commitment to working together on areas of common interest. He has the verbiage. He has it down to a T. He's media savvy. He gets it. Fair play, Ryan. Fair play to you as well. And the host of many comments following in from behind, and plenty of congratulations for Ryan. But very important that has made it. Peter Stewart joining us in, jumping in from Belfast. Peter, are you late? Peter, did you not get the notification now? 20 press-ups, 20 burpees, or 20 sit-ups? You can do 2 of the 3. Pick 2. Go! Peter Stewart from Belfast. Good to see you. I'm not going to go through that. Sorry, I didn't mean to scroll through there. I'm transitioning out there. Coming towards the end of our program as well. I see Ryan going further afield at a national level and representing us and talking about the very key things that we need to talk about. Homogeneity, our uniqueness, that we must remain the majority in Ireland, that the Irish must remain the majority in Ireland. Or what is it after this? Just a depot, just a vassal state for the Committee of 30. Yeah, I don't hear you grunting. I mean, I don't hear you typing in the grunting of your sit-ups or your burpees, Peter. Type them in there fast as you're doing them. Go on, good boy. See Ryan representing us. Ryan representing us on the national stage, and the international stage at a national level, and fair play to him. I want to highlight some of the other pick, and I know I keep throwing out posits to the National Party, but there are very many young men that are there, and I want to highlight one of the young men that are there, that are on board, that are speaking the rhetoric, that understand what is at stake and understand what they need to do and how they are representing themselves. I want to give John McLaughlin from the National Party props here on the Grand Torino, so that you may keep abreast of him and his forays, and he's a fine representative for the National Party as well. I like the cut of his jib. I like how he handles himself. I like how he represents himself. Only from what I've seen. I haven't seen it personally. But I'll give props out to them. Let's have a listen to John's publication from the National Party in relation to mosques in his hometown of Waterford.
Here reporting from the National Party. I'm standing at the rear of 49 Merchants Quay here, and we've got another mosque situation in Waterford yet again. We stopped the one in Ballybeg. I think we can stop this one too. Behind me is where they intend to put a new mosque, which is going to replace the old one, which is currently up above here. Now, this mosque has a bit of a history. The mosque above me here, where the current mosque exists, once was the regular prayer place of Hassan Bal, a convicted terrorist with a British and Irish passport. He was convicted of terrorism and pleaded guilty. Today he still walks the streets of Waterford. He served time for this crime, yet here he is, still praying in this mosque, and eventually, of course, will be praying in the mosque here, if it goes ahead. Here we have it, a mosque right in the heart of Waterford City, right bang in the middle of Merchants Quay. So lads, the planning application number is on the screen at the moment. We need people to object to this. The only way that we are going to stop this going ahead is if people put in letters of objection. It's the only way we could stop Ballybeg, and it's the only way we're going to stop this one.
Fair play, young man. I like the cut of your jib. I like the way you handle things. And like, again, I'm always willing to prop people that are pushing back, people who are looking, using, excuse me, effective strategies. But I'm primarily come from that age group, because this is their future and this is their war. I'll swing a sword. Don't worry. I'm at the front line. Old bastard at the front line. These youth, they need to get activated, and they need other people of their age group and need to see these people being activated and get inspired by them as well. So props off to John and all the others as well. And they've got some good, strong leaders over there as well. So all is not lost. All is not lost. Don't fucking sign the subscription. Do not go to Ukraine to fight the meat grinder. There's no such thing as UN peacekeepers. You are being sent there to the meat grinder to die. Any young man, primarily Irish men, because you will be targeted first. They won't send the new to the parish. They'll be protected. They'll be kept back here till the very end. But you will be sent out first. You, white man, white Irish man, will be sent first. Guaranteed. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Do not fucking go. Stay here. Stand your ground. Fight for your own country. And screw the rest. is what I'm saying to you. And again, young females as well, because they will make it the same. Do you know, no woman has any fucking business being on the front line. No man has it either as well. War is a pitiful waste of life, and it's been designed and pushed by those who shake the jar to attest who has been most heavily perpetrated or has been affected primarily most in the last 100 years of war would be Christians, would be white Christians, the European demographic specifically, which is under constant attack for those that would make themselves out or call themselves to be Caucasian, but are actually a different ethnicity altogether, just because the skin tone and the melatonin count is pretty similar. They use that as a strategy to lie to us, to allow this diversity, this multiculturalism, which is a strength to them, not to us. But fair play, John, and fair play to the rest of them. I'm coming close. Do I have one? I want to finish this on with Michael McCarthy as well. You're all very well we're aware of Michael McCarthy as well, giving us a strong representation in the culture wars over on many different platforms as well. Good to speaking on them as well. He did a little breakdown of the cost in the Finnish. We touched on it last week in relation to the releasing of the statistics from Denmark. He also has a little breakdown here from Finland, and we'll have a little listen to Michael's broadcast here in relation to the Finnish statistics.
Finland. The study examined the lifetime fiscal impact of asylum seekers and refugees from Iraq and Somalia on Finnish public finances. It focuses on immigrants who arrived between the ages of 20 and 24. Iraqi-born immigrants are projected to cost an average of 690,000 each, a single one, rising to 844,000 when their children's effects are included. Somali-born immigrants average 951,000. That goes up to 1,343,000 with children. This is their lifetime impact, how much they cost. The study also finds that the second generation children of these immigrants show exclusion rates 6 to 8 times higher. Exclusion rate means they're not working and they're not in education. So these second generation immigrants that would have been born in Finland but are Iraqi and Somali, they don't work or go into education 6 to 8 times the rate of Finnish people. Around 50% of them are on welfare. 50%. For a Finnish person, that's 11%. Keep that in mind. An Iraqi asylum seeker over their lifetime will cost you 690,000.
I didn't see that. Did you say that bit? Fucking IQ thing keeps popping up all around. I don't know if it's me. So you seen that as well? IQ.
You could give a town 690,000. That is the extent of how much this costs. One Somali asylum seeker costs 950,000 over their lifetime. You have to take into account that 50% of them don't work, most of them claim welfare, their crime rate is higher. All these factors for what? Why isn't Ireland doing studies like this? If immigrants and what immigrants actually contribute to our economy, those that are a benefit, why are they hiding all this information? The only ones that do this are Finland and Denmark.
Yeah, so there you go. I thought that interesting as well. Fair play to Michael for propping that out as well. But we've got the statistics up there. We just need more and more people to find their voice now. We need to encourage people to be outspoken. And because not just on a political sense, but also on a theological sense, not only understanding your own belief or your own faith, but understanding your enemy's faith and how they operate. I think it's crucial. And the more that is allowed to come in, the more mosques and our barracks, we won't call them mosques, they're barracks, the more the numbers increase, the more that the future for the likes of John and his future and his children, John Loughlin that we spoke of there, and anybody of that age, their children's future will be one of complete segregation, will be a complete of attack if it's allowed to continue. And this is purposely, again, designed, number one, through for Christian persecution, number two, for white European persecution as well. It's a real strategy, and we should not be afraid to speak and spoke in these matters. You're going to get the usual labels, and again, this is brilliant. Let them call us what they want. We are far beyond whatever labels they do or whatever they say, because I do not fear or worry about what people or my peers think about me. I'm very outspoken, so it doesn't really affect me. My thick neck and attitude has carried me towards that. But it should embolden you now that those people that matter to you will understand what you're speaking, your beliefs or your opinions. They may disagree with you, but they'll still remain steadfastly loyal. But other than that, you must be vociferous. You must be more engaging in your conversations, because I think that slow unfolding is still a viable option. Like I said to you, and I didn't say to you, I said in the stream in the broadcast yesterday with Ray Abo, it was on with WBAN 224, I think it is, Ray Abo, over on D Live, an international radio station as well. Big hello and a thank you to her audience, and thank you for the invitation. But we did speak on Ray's. I completely forgot the point of what I was speaking about there as well. Senior moment, boys and girls. I think it's because I'm rushing between the time zones, and I know I'm coming towards the end. But I'm not going to go off in a montage towards the end. I'm just going to leave it there. But again, I've got to finish it off on one last criteria and one other topic that we shouldn't be afraid to talk about, which will be in relation to transformers. Transformers, or the queer theory. We've gone through a political, what is it? Identity politics. We've just covered identity politics. Now we're touching on queer theory and gender theory. Fianna Fact, I'll just finish off on this last one here. But Fianna Fact says, well, the CSO Ireland Statistics body now officially defines male. This is now in government. This is in public online standard forms. But the CSO, Ireland's official statistics body, now officially defines male and female in Irish data sets as, quote, an individual's internal sense of being male or female. This is the standard being applied to how the state's data is collected across government. That means that the data used to measure crime, health, education, policy outcome is now being built on a subjective, self-defined variable. Also comes with the goods on that class, an individual's internal sense of being a male. Fantasyland woo-woo, but that's the rod they're going to attack us with. That's the rod they're going to try and break our back with, is on the legislative. These words and these legislations or these new laws that are coming in are so nebulous and so open, so subjective, not generally objective for the whole of society to function, but based purely on your internal feelings. And that's how they're going to try and push out the or wrap out the persecution of people at large. Try to gain the moral authority. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, boys and girls. Kind of just wanted to keep it a touch on the energy system situation there as well as things go forward throughout the summer. I think, like I've said, nearly every year as we thought 2025. It's all part, again, I'll just tie it back in. It's all part of Agenda 2030, Agenda 2040, and eventually Agenda 2050. But we're coming towards the 2030 part of it, where the world is being corralled and lassoed into a fear state to give up its sovereignty, to give up its freedom and its individuality. All of us as individuals, not only a mass cull of the human population, still being masked in the data sets for excessive deaths throughout the world, but with this mass migration of peoples and clash of cultures, civil war is not far around, civil disruption, and then to top it all, then the commie's favourite weapon, food deprivation and food starvation. And I'll finish off there. Big Billy Bogus, thank you for that as well. Thank you for that in the comment. Enoch Burke and his family being outrightly persecuted as Christians for not kowtowing to the rules of one despotic fucking judge, and is bringing this whole criteria because his ego wouldn't allow him to step down, and is jailed and is continuing the jailing and the persecution of the Burke and the Burke family as well. But they still stand strong and they still speak out for themselves and still protect what is their right to freedom of speech. Let's keep them in our minds. Okay, boys and girls, want to do a roll call? Live chat. I'm going to get a new starter and exit video and music piece. 10 seconds in, 10 seconds out. And then we'll jump away. I'll have that for you next week, hopefully. I'll get to wrap that up. Age location if you want. Why isn't drag queens in the mosques? Good question, Billy. Maybe we should go ask the local imam. Would you like to take in a performance of Kneecap if you want to smash your head off a brick wall in preference, or would you like to listen to Kneecap as a punishment? Fucking gobshites getting touted out, killing people in Cuba and all of that. Like most of the lefties are all chancers, nonsense actors, paedophile enablers, and your time is coming. I tell you, it's as coming as we wait for the roll call. Tune her up there, boys. Tune her up. Let's see you spitting. Let's get the wheels of speed spinning. Not a bad number at all, Karen. Not a bad new number. Karen jumping in straight off the bat, right down the very bottom just here. Little Karen there kicking off. Karen Burns joining us from New Jersey at 66. You don't have to be do the age thing as well. Just your location is good. I appreciate it. But for every man, I want to see, I know the age demographic is in and around similar age, but I want to see if we can attract the attention of the younger men or the younger guys, the younger men as well, and the younger population, see if we can bring them in as well to spread that message out. Keep spreading that message out. Sheepdog, who's got his newly acquired spanner and is the new moderator to the channel. Big round of applause for Sheepdog and his promotion. You were brought up to Spartan number 5 status, Sheepdog. Ian XX IOK, Ian from Cornwall. Ian is joining us from Cornwall. I do love that. Another 55er. A lot of 55s in the house. A lot of 55s being represented. Gen Xer, thanks for that, Ian. Maya Leslie, still 54, still in Mead. Stay alive. Thank you for that, Leslie. Seamus McGoo, 46 from Tassie. Where's that, Seamus? Jump back in there and tell us, where the heck is Tassie? Tassie. HP Wallbanger, also 77 from Enniscorthy. And still knocking it out of the park. Well in, HP. Go on, my son. We also got Nikki. Nikki's in the house, who is the older partner of the young and the effervescent Karen Burns. Nikki Burns in the house, joining us from New Jersey also, at a ripe old age, at a grand, merry, strong, stalwart age of 71. Well then, Nikki, I'm keeping the props up. I'm trying to keep it going for you, bro. Keep it up there. We got one more to come back in there. Look at that, lads, boys and girls. One more, and then I'll let you go. Get on the keyboard there and tap it in. One more. Who's going to be the last one in? I'm not leaving. I'm not switching off till the last one comes. Enjoy that and appreciate that, Gary. We're going to sign off there as well. What else did I want to say to you? Oh, we've just passed the criteria for the monetization of the channel. It's up for review. Whether we get it or not, it's neither here nor there. Just to have access to the platform. But it should that be initialized, just brace yourself. You might start seeing ads again and all that bullshit that goes with it. I won't put them on, but it's just there. If that goes and starts kicking in, and if the platform kicks off again, we might start seeing a more outside broadcasts or events broadcast as well to help supplement that as well. But also, any cash flow that comes in for that will be put back into the system here to reimburse that. So appreciate your support. Keep an eye on that if you're of a will or of an inclination to help out the Gran Torino in our streaming. But we're going to try and keep it self-sufficient for the foreseeable as much as possible. Thank you all again for your support, which is more important. Thank you for jumping in and joining in. Please, if you're new, don't forget to give us a like, or if you're new as well, a subscription if you fancy, if you want to come back in. But we will be here again next Monday, 8 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. And thank you for your thoughts, comments, and witticisms in the comment section as well, and your lovely kind words on the previous broadcasts, which I didn't get a chance to mention, but I do like interacting with you there, and keep all your thoughts, comments, and your suggestions coming into me as well. Okay, boys and girls, big greeting to you wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining and sharing your time here